Happy hump day, traders and investors. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth. It's Wednesday, April 27th. Hope you're doing awesome today. And in this short video, we're going to be discussing the state of the market. Currently, markets are under attack. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on what to expect in the days and weeks ahead. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps support me and the channel. And tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future updates. Taking a look at the crypto space, so crypto is holding up a little bit better than most sectors, and this makes sense in my opinion because it has been leading the market since really March 2020 lows of C19. And I think the reason for that is because Bitcoin, you look at Tesla, they own a ton of Bitcoin, right? Elon Musk, Tesla have billions of dollars in Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up, that's good for Tesla. Tesla made more money at 1 quarter off its Bitcoin purchase and appreciation than it did off selling cars. And the fact that the S&P 500 has a huge weighting of Tesla. It's just, you see that chain reaction, right? When Bitcoin goes up, Tesla goes up, and then SPY goes up. So I think that's why it's been leading the market. But at the moment, a lot of people are very on edge, but there's nothing really to worry about here in terms of the weekly chart on Bitcoin. We could see a little bit more downside from current levels. We're looking at about a 10% drop if we come to that previous support at 34,322. So that is the key support that I'm going to be watching. If we lose that, we lose the weekly uptrend on Bitcoin. So going to be watching that very crucial level of support. Something else extremely important that I'm keeping my eye on is the DXY chart, the US dollar currency index chart. You can see here that we had resistance at 103.82, another level here at 102.99. And we got as high as 103.28 on DXY. We are monthly overbought as well, which is the first time since back in 2015. And we do not have any monthly high or low all the way down until 94.62. I wouldn't be surprised if we started to pull back soon. But again, we're starting to see the dollar go parabolic, and we're starting to see stocks really start to go the other way and momentum shifting in the broader market to the bears, and this is definitely a cause for concern. But again, most likely scenario, what I think could happen is we see a pullback on the dollar very soon, and then we have a temporary bottom being set on the S&P 500, and we bounce into May. Like I said, I think we could test potentially 400 on SPY or a flush thereof, test weekly oversold, and then everybody thinks we're entering the bear market, but then we see a huge bounce into May and a potential monthly lower high, and then we get the bear market into the summertime. But again, watching the US dollar, I think that we could see a pullback very soon. And again, as long as we hold 410 on SPY, that is the most important level. If we lose 410, then like I said, I think we're going to be heading to weekly oversold and likely going to see a flush of 400 on SPY. Moving on to the S&P 500, the S&P, again, a little bit weaker. We're right at that weekly support, right at 415.12. We got as low as 415.01, so we technically lost the weekly uptrend, but didn't see much follow through. So if you are looking for some entries, I think this is a great opportunity on the S&P 500. You could set your stop below the low here at 410.64, which is the low of that massive pullback that we had from all-time high. We were down at that point almost 15%. So relatively low risk in my opinion. If we do lose that level, we're likely heading to weekly oversold, which will be the first time since March 2020. That is a long time, and we're starting to see the momentum shift, right? You can't just buy every single dip and win anymore. The market environment is changing, and I think that has to do with the fact that we're going to see a sell in May and go away, and then we're really going to start to see the selling pick up into the summertime, into July and August. But remember, I've been highlighting this fractal from the boom and bust fractal quite often now, and if we see anything similar happen to the .com boom and bust, we're going to be looking for a potential, let me turn on the log scale. We're going to be looking for a potential monthly downtrend leading into the summer. Like I said, I do think we're going to see one more rally into May, and that's going to potentially allow for whales, one last time to exit. A lot of people are going to think we're going to all-time highs. We're going to see a monthly lower high and then a monthly downtrend confirmed for the first time since 2008. And remember, it takes market makers and whales about 6 months to exit positions. Warren Buffett has said that many times. So if we take a look at when the market peaked, it was in January of 2022 this year. So if we count 4 to 6 months, 4 to 6 months would be May. That's 4-month mark. Again, sell in May, go away. Usually we don't see the actual market crater in May. It's usually the selling starts in May or like I said, it usually takes about 4 to 6 months. So the selling has already really started since January. And keep in mind, from the lows of March 2020, we're up 120% on the S&P 500. Generally, we only go 8 to 10% a year, and people are happy with that. So you have to wonder, how much are we really going to pull back? I think we could see a pullback pretty nasty. If we resemble the dot-com boom and bust fractal, it could get pretty nasty here over the next couple of years. I think we're going to enter a multi-year bear market. But again, 4-month mark makes it around May, and then 6 months would be around June. So like I said, I think we could see some heavy acceleration into June. If we take a look at the dot-com bubble, look when we peaked in March, and then look when we rolled. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 months before we had that monthly lower high. So I'm expecting something similar where we bounce, likely going to see a bit more downside here if I had to guess. If we take a look at the hourly time frame, we were just looking for an hourly higher low yesterday compared to 430.39, and then we ended up just getting slammed down. We failed to change the hourly trend. We dropped to a new lower low, hourly downtrend confirmed, continuation, and now we're just looking for, we're starting to see some bullish RSI divergence though on the price action, where we're trending lower highs and lower lows, and you can see the RSI starting to trend higher. But at this time, we need to break this high here on the RSI to confirm that hidden bullish RSI divergence. But at the moment, we're just in an hourly downtrend. We need to change the hourly trend ASAP. Once we change the hourly trend, then we zoom out to the daily. The daily bounce will get underway, and then we'll look for a daily higher low and a higher high and a daily trend change. And then after that, we've got tons of work to do right at the moment. We're still technically with that save there, you could still technically say we're holding that higher low pattern. We didn't see much follow through. But again, once we change the daily trend, then we zoom out to the weekly and we look for the weekly bounce to get underway. And it's more than likely going to be a type of equilibrium and a tightening range. And then we get a bull break, either a bull break or a bear break from there. But at the moment, like I said, I think we could see more downside. I think that realistically, we're starting to see fear pick up in the market. We have that line in the sand level there at 410. If we lose 410, I think we're heading to 400 and maybe even a flush of 400. We're likely going to get extreme. If we zoom out to the weekly time frame, once again, we're likely heading to weekly oversold, the first time since March 2020. And if we do get to weekly oversold, I think there's going to be a heavy amount of buyers in that area at weekly oversold, and likely a flush of 400 would put us to that weekly oversold. So just be prepared. If you're in MJ right now, I did a post earlier today. I said on MSOS we had an hourly descending triangle. The target was 1630, and that target has been met, and it actually saw a bit more downside than that. And then if we zoom out to the 5 minute, it was actually a 5 minute bear flag that was confirming. So again, we could see a bit more downside. A lot of people are wondering where the bottom is on MJ. It's likely getting close, in my opinion. But again, it can always go lower, and even lower than you think. Whatever you think is as low as it can go, it can always go lower than that. And basically, I don't think we're going to really stop going lower until the broader market, because we've been very correlated to the broader market lately. And right now, MJ is just following the S&P 500, in my opinion, and the broader market. But at the moment, we are trying to confirm a 5 minute uptrend here with the low, high, higher, low, and higher high. So if we break above 419.90, that's going to confirm a 5 minute uptrend. That will be a sign of relief for the bulls, but then we still have to change hourly and daily trends. So at this point, the burden of proof right now is on the bulls, as we know that market momentum is seriously shifting to the bears. And like I said, this is the first time really that we've been seeing this shift since March 2020. Normally every dip was met by heavy buying, and you can see here, just V-shape, V-shape, V-shape into new all-time highs. And here we are in a weekly downtrend with the high, low, lower high, and lower low. Granted, we didn't see much follow through, but we're forming another potential lower low here. And like I said, if we lose that 410 support, I think we're going to see a huge increase in fear. And like I said, wouldn't be surprised if we pull back to that 400 level. We also have a higher low there around 404. So I could really see a flush of 400 over the next couple of days, and fear start to pick up in the market. But if you are looking for a relatively low risk entry, you could start to average in here now and set a stop below that low at 410. Personally, I'm just holding on. I'm very selective with my longs. I'm all out of the broader market and tech stocks. I'm focusing on altcoins and building a long-term MJ portfolio. I did a portfolio breakdown video yesterday going over my holdings. Most of it's cash. then real estate, then crypto, then MJ, dollar-wise, as percentage of my portfolio. Go and check that out. Going to end it there, though. If you could smash the like, subscribe to the channel on your way out. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Let me know in the comments below if you think we're going to see that 400 level on SPY or a flush thereof over the next couple of days. Thanks so much for joining us again on The Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again in the next video.